welcome back to Trista's Reading Room. Today we are looking at Winter of the Bees by Angela R. Watts, and this was published on May 30th, 2023. 13-year-old Niles Flisbin has a list of problems a mile long. His parents filed bankruptcy, his older sister ran away, he moved in with his wacky grandparents, and he's stuck tending their farm of magical, or so Grandpa says, bees. One problem quickly tops the list. Grandpa is dying. Niles is running out of time to help his family and learn about Grandpa's stories that may hold the secret to Niles' future, too. While the bees know that winter holds no good thing, Niles misses their warning. But maybe magic can be found in even the darkest of places. And maybe, just maybe, Niles isn't as alone as he feels. This is for ages 9 to 13, and it does have the loss of grandparents. You can find this on Amazon in ebook and paperback form. Here's a bit about the author. Angela R. Watts is the best-selling and award-nominated author of the Infidel books and the Remnant trilogy. She's been writing stories since she was little and has over 34 works published. She also writes articles for a few magazines and publishers. When she's not writing, Angela is a freelance editor, blogger, and artist. She lives in Tennessee with her family and many pets. Yes, she's had pet rats before. Angela loves connecting with readers, and you can follow her on social media to stay up to date with releases, or contact her through her website, AngelaRWatts.com. Here's the inspiration for her book. God gave me the title first, and everything else sort of appeared. But I didn't write the novel till over a year later. I found a lot of inspiration from, of course, the bees. They are such miraculous creatures. I wanted to write a story where the extraordinary could be found in the ordinary. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, her website, and her newsletter. Chapter 1. The Bees. Grandpa says the bees are magic. I don't believe him. Because grown-ups have a way of fantasizing life when things get tough. I look up at the great-grandfather clock. Tick-tock, tick-tocking away against the pale blue kitchen wall. The tiny clean kitchen wafts with the sweet scent of syrup and cooking butter. I sit at the wooden table, picking at some scratches etched in the surface while I eat. Grandma's homemade pancakes and orange juice are the best things I've ever tasted, while Grandma chats like a bird. Grandma looks like she walked out of some old movie. Her hair was always prim and in a low bun. Her knee-knocks and button-up white shirt are crisp. I guess when you're old, there's not much else to do but cook and do laundry, so maybe she enjoys it or something. She hands me a plate stacked with pancakes, and then pours me another glass of fresh orange juice. "We get these oranges from our friends," she says, droning on about how she makes the pancakes and how fresh the oranges are. She rambles on about how the closest town to their farm occasionally has a man who trades fresh oranges. Grandma looks proper, but she has a spunky nature that I'm growing to relax around. I listen a little, but mostly stuff my face and think about how I'm going to play football alone. I've been here a week, and I still haven't figured it out. I haven't asked Grandpa to play with me either. He's sick. The kind of sick he probably won't recover from, but also the kind of sick where nobody will actually say that. But if I don't practice, I won't get any better. My best friend, Brandon, and I had planned on practicing football before I had to move in with my grandparents. Our dream was to be on the high school team together. We're both pretty small for our ages, and Mom worried I'd get crushed. But I figured with practice, I could get buff, and girls like a guy with calloused hands. But I didn't know if I'd be doing much football practice or buffing up this summer at my grandparents'. Would I ever see Brandon again? Mom had mentioned by accident we may not move back to Michigan. What would I do if I was stuck in some weird backwoods world forever? I clenched my fists, anger rising in my chest. Mom and Dad hadn't even asked what I wanted. They don't care what I want or what I think. No one does. "Niles?" Grandma says, her voice yanking me from my thoughts. "Hmm?" "Yes, ma'am," she corrected. Yes, ma'am. I roll my eyes when she turns her back. She and Grandpa are way too strict. Why don't you help Grandpa with the bees today? June is always a busy time with the bees. He'd love the help. It's just about time to harvest. Her cheerful voice reminds me of the wind, soft and gentle and refreshing. Different from Mom's loud and short commands and remarks. Grandma actually talks to me like she sees me. I don't like bees. I give her the same excuse I've used before. There's nothing to be afraid of, dear, she reassures me. I could be allergic. We may live in the country, but we're not that far from the hospital if it comes down to that, love. I don't respond to her gentle rebuttal and focus on my food. Almost done now. Then I can ask if I can walk down the dirt road and see if there are any kids in the countryside. We could play some football. I'd brought my ball with me. I might as well play football until I figure out a way to fix my life. The front screen door, clapping shut, brings me to attention. Grandpa comes in and gets a cup of coffee. He takes a whiff of the steaming black stuff and looks at me. Ready to help? Help? I blink. You've been here a week. It's time to get to work, Grandpa says. June is coming fast. I shake my head. It's summer break, I tell him. And I don't like... You may not like the bees, but the bees sure like you. I ain't ever seen 'em like somebody the way they've taken to you. Grandpa waves me off with a calloused hand. He's got strong, tough hands. Maybe my hands would look tough if I did the same work he did. But I'm not sure I like the bees enough to help with them, even if it did toughen me up. What's that mean? I ask anyway. They like ya. How? I didn't understand what he meant. They seemed like normal bees. I'd seen them buzzing around Grandpa's bright and luxurious flower garden and the pretty tall fruit trees lining the dirt driveway. Grandpa smiles. Come see what I mean. Frustration rises in my chest. I have other things to do, I say stubbornly. Your gaming station doesn't work here, Grandpa points out. He's right. They don't have the internet here. Not because they couldn't have it, since it's the 21st century and all, but because Grandpa doesn't like it. I have other things, I argue. Like reading. There, Grandpa respects reading. They couldn't complain if I spent the summer in my bedroom if they thought I was reading books that'd make me smart. You can't lie to me, young'un, Grandpa said with a booming laugh. You don't like reading any more than you like bees. I'm stuck. If he wants my help, I don't have a way out of it anymore. But maybe it'll make my hands look tougher. If I find some good work during the summer, who knows? I could get strong and tall in no time. Maybe. Fine. I finish my orange juice. It burns going down this time. Finish your breakfast. With a satisfied smirk on his face, Grandpa sits at the table with his newspaper and coffee. Grandma chatters away for the rest of breakfast and cleans the table after we finish. I pull my worn sneakers on and follow Grandpa outside into the humid day. What did you mean earlier? I asked. About what? About the bees liking me. I lower my voice. It's a silly question. Who cares what the bees think? And why should I care about some fantasy my grandparents created to distract me from the fact my family was falling apart? Grandpa chuckles. Follow me. He leads me around the small whitewashed house into the backyard. Grandma has flower beds back here too, and a vegetable garden that looks awfully happy. Bees swarm about the vegetables, but I hear a steady sound coming from the house. Look, Grandpa says, gesturing to the corner of the house closest to where my bedroom is. A small swarm of bees lingers in the rafters. They whisper and flutter above the window of the little whitewashed home, right over my bedroom. I wrinkle my nose. What are they doing up there? They have all those hives in the field. Grandpa nods. They do. And? I pester.
I told you, they like you.
Grandpa crosses his big arms across his chest.
So I'm gonna let 'em stay there.
But... I pause. Don't they have a home?
Those aren't your normal bees, Niles.
He glances down at me.
They do as they please.
But you're the beekeeper. You can't even handle your own bees? Grandpa gives another thunderous laugh.
No, son, I'm their friend. Nothing more, nothing less. Just their friend.
I think about that for a moment. But isn't it unsafe if they stay here? I point to them. They'll die or make a hive here on the house, and that's not safe, right? A bee from the house flies close, and I grimace at it. Why did Grandpa have to pretend like they were special? They were just bees. He just pitied me. He pitied the boy whose own parents and sister had left him behind like a forgotten stray dog. Grandpa was trying to make me feel better, and it wasn't working. Frustration rises in my chest. I was 13, not a 5-year-old who needed coddling. Grandpa's green eyes glint like he's holding back some secret.
We'll see.
I suck in a deep breath, scents of sweet flowers and fresh dirt filling my nostrils. I exhale in a huff. I don't want them over my bedroom. A bee lands on my shoulder. Its little body almost glimmers in the sunlight.
Why not?
I don't want to be stung. I tense as the bee crawls around my t-shirt.
I haven't been stung.
Grandpa shrugs. Sure you have. You've kept them for decades. You've had to be stung. I held my breath and wait, but the bee doesn't fly away from my shoulder.
I don't recall being stung,
he says.
These bees and I, Niles, we have a friendship, and that means having respect, and it means having some magic, too.
I laugh bitterly. You're a crazy old man. I'd heard Mom say those same words about her father before, but now I know why she said it. Grandpa was strange. Eccentric, Dad said, always trying to smooth over Mom's harsher words. Grandpa reaches and ruffles my curls.
Your mother tells me the same thing, but her eyes are always sad.
He meets my gaze.
Do my eyes look sad, boy?
His words cut deep. I look away, heat flooding my cheeks. He shouldn't say such things about Mom. But I couldn't argue with him. His eyes aren't sad, and Grandma's eyes aren't sad. And it's a big change from being around Mom and Dad. I shove the bee off with a firm shake of my shoulder, but for some reason, I can't bring myself to kill it. It flitters off back to the window and joins its many friends along the gutter of the house. Bees are not magical. I'm not a child, and I don't want them over my room. I say firmly, balling up my fists and heading toward the bee field. I don't wait for Grandpa to follow. Chapter 2. What Grandpa Meant. The bee field is a few acres of crops and, of course, the bees. Rows of hives cover the bee field, some hives white, some colored. The boxes vary in size and spacing. The bees are finicky, Grandma says, and once they make a home, they're stubborn in moving. Grandpa goes to check the hives every morning.
You have to be patient,
he says when I ask when the honey will be ready.
But the hives need to be inspected once or more a month, so it can be time-consuming.
So why check them every day? I ask. If you know when the honey will be ready anyway. I study the field again, taking a deep breath of humid air and wiping my brow.
I want 'em to gather all the honey they can, he explains. But if I'm not careful, I'll miss the perfect time to harvest. And anyway, you have to check the eggs, check for any pests, and healthy larvae. Not too often, mind you.
He looks at me with a smile.
Bother 'em too much and they get upset. So you give them time and space, but keep an eye on things. Like I said, they're my friends.
I kick a rock off the little path.
You miss your friends back home, don't ya?
Sweat trickles down his brown temples. I tense and look down at the dirt as we walk. The rock is too far for me to kick again. Sure.
I like to spend time with them out here.
Grandpa looks around at the fruit trees and the hive boxes.
It reminds me why I do all this work.
I laugh. It doesn't seem like it's much work. Just a bunch of boxes, bugs, and crops that don't seem too difficult to care for.
It might not seem like it, but it is.
He keeps walking, footsteps scuffing up some dirt and sand on the trail. And isn't the honey why you do it? I scurry to keep up. Grandma says you make the best honey. Bees fly around us, drifting and darting. One passes by my ear, and I slap at my neck, missing.
The bees make it.
Whatever. Grandpa sighs.
And it's good, yes, but that's not why I'm friends with the bees.
He sounds crazy. Again. Then why? And don't say because they're magical. I say tightly. I'm 13. I'm not a little kid like the last time you saw me. Grandpa only knew me as a 5-year-old who liked licking honey off spoons and singing along to old songs with Liz. But I wasn't a little kid anymore. I didn't need to pretend like bees were special just to make myself feel better, unlike Grandma and Grandpa. Grandpa doesn't answer. He goes to a hive and carefully lifts the lid. Bees scamper around him, and while it's unnerving to see so many in one place, they seem strangely calm. Shouldn't you wear one of those suits? I keep distance between myself and the open hive, my throat dry.
Why should I?
Well, they could sting you now.
They could sting me in a suit if they wanted.
With a small metal tool, Grandpa removes a piece of board from the box, but it's strange looking. Honeycombs fill the wooden frame. Or is it just called a honeycomb? I don't ask, feeling stupid for not knowing anything about bees or hives. But could I have known anything about this if Mom and Dad avoided talking about Grandpa and Grandma? As if on cue, Grandpa says,
See how the honey is these caps over it? That means they're capping the honey, storing it for winter. But we'll put this frame back. We don't want to bother them too much. It's nice to see it, though, ain't it?
It's strange. The big frame full of comb and honey, and the bustling bees that engulf the piece. I guess so. I keep my distance. Why aren't you using a smoker?
Told ya, these bees are different. Magical. They don't sting.
He laughs. I don't believe him.
See this stuff? That's nectar.
He gestures to some gooey dark stuff.
They'll cap it soon, and that'll be ready for harvesting.
I nod a little, wary as he slides the frame along the others in the big box. Grandpa shuts the lid, making sure he doesn't squash any bees.
Kinda like magic, huh?
I don't respond. Just seems like a bunch of bees to me. Anyway, magic is bad. At least that's what Mom says.
The way they function, the details and delicate order of their hive and their teamwork.
Grandpa trails off, a distant look in his old eyes.
It's like magic, Niles. This world that spins around us, every little bit of it is miraculous. Just gotta notice it.
I changed the subject. No use in talking about nature. I have bigger problems. Why did you need my help if you're just looking at them? I follow Grandpa down the rows. A cool breeze hits me and I relax a bit, grateful for the slight break from feeling like I'm in a pot of soup. Tennessee is way different than Michigan, that's for sure. I quickly scold myself for letting thoughts of home enter my mind. Grandpa answers.
Grandma wants more chickens.
I groan. And
I need help making a new coop.
Grandpa gives a mischievous smile.
You look pretty strong to me. I think you can help.
Don't talk like I'm 4. I snap.
Just saying it how I see it.
I'll help with the coop. I give in. But I want something in return.
What?
Grandpa leads me to the backyard again, where the bees swarm the flower beds. Can you play football with me, or just catch? I guess he shouldn't really tackle or run since he's so old, but I'll take tossing a ball around if it means I stay sharp. Grandpa leans his head back in thought.
You're a deal maker like your mother used to be.
She still is. I set my jaw. That's why she's so good at her job, and she's never home. There's always some deal to land. I didn't mind my life the way it had been. Sure, it got lonely with Mom and Dad busy, but I'd had Liz. Until she left. That's when everything fell apart. But I pushed the thoughts of home away again. His smile fades.
You have a deal.
He offers me a hand. I shake it, and his hand engulfs mine.
Let's start the coop first. We'll head into town for supplies.
Grandpa slaps my shoulder.
Do you like chickens?
They don't have a lot of chickens in the city.
Well, we'll pick out some chicks up at the co-op.
Grandpa studies the garden.
We'll make that coop right there, I'm thinking. Far enough away from the house, it won't smell, but close enough that Eliza won't have to walk too far for the eggs.
I nod, but I don't really care where the coop will go. My gaze drifts to the bees hovering around my bedroom window. The bee that had landed on my shoulder. Why hadn't I been able to kill it? Grandpa said the bees were special. What did that mean? And why in the world did I want it to be true? That's all for today. If you want to read more of this book, be sure to check it out on Amazon and follow Angela on her social medias. Thanks for joining me.